acting codes and so on. Thomas Edison, identical. Darwin, identical. Maria Montessori, the great educationalist and Nobel Prize winning in chemistry, etc., identical. Feynman, the great physicist, identical. Images, da-da-da. Einstein, really messy notes. But they actually weren't messy. They were using the things that the brain needed in order to learn, focus, and remember. So after many, many years, the mind map finally evolved. And for me, it was as if I'd been driving all my life with a windscreen that was totally caked in mud. And suddenly, the windshield wipers had gone shoom, shoom, and I could see. In other words, I could think clearly in the way my brain was designed to think. And that was the mind map. So what I'm going to do now is to take you through the mind map laws, the mind map guidelines. What is a mind map? And how does one do a mind map to the best advantage of your own brain? All that the mind map is a reflection on the page or the screen of what's in your head. And it's a really good idea to get what's in your head out there in the way that it is in your head. And the mind map formalizes that for you. So I'm now going to give you the laws of mind mapping, which will guide you ideally for the rest of your life. And the mind map that we have on the screen is a model example. But this could be a mind map of you. It could be a mind map of India. It could be a mind map on nuclear physics. It could be a mind map on meteorology. It could be a mind map on astronomy. It could be a mind map on anything. It could be a mind map on your child. It could be a mind map planning a wedding. That is the structure that any mind map would fundamentally take. And each mind map will have its own number of branches, its own particular artistic style, but the laws of it will be the same if it's going to be superbly efficient. So rule number one, image in the center. So you start a mind map with an image in the center. Why? We've already said it, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And you can put the reasons down as well when you note this. A picture is worth 1,000 words. But also the image gives you focus and concentration and memory. And it makes each mind map unique. Whereas normal notes all look the same. But the central image is a really good identifying item. Second law, I call these laws because if you follow them, all your thinking improves. If you don't, your thinking is a bit more ragged, a bit more unclear. So these laws are not to restrict you. They are to multiply your freedoms. So image in the center. Second law, images throughout. Wherever you can put an image, do. You notice the mind map there, as an example, has images throughout. Now, these do not have to be Rembrandtian, Picassoian, Da Vincian images. Just, if you can draw people, do some little stick figures. Draw a car, just draw the outline. It doesn't have to be masterpiece. It can be almost cartoonish. but just an image. If you're using the computer software, then you can import images as well. Images throughout. So first law, image in the center. Second law, images throughout. In other words, make sure your mind map is balanced with keywords, key images. Next law, colors. Always use color in your notes. Always use color in your notes. Now I must compliment you as a group, because at least 40% of you, which is way above average, made that note correctly. 60% of you in this metacognition morning wrote, always use color in your notes, in blue or black, in a list. Think about what you do. How can you write, I must always use color in my notes, in black? And the reason why you did that, those of you who did, is habit. You and I were trained to do that. And many things we do habitually, because that's the way we've been trained to do it, so we do it. And the way we speak is habitual, and it's very useful to have that as a habit. So many habits are very useful. Many habits are not useful. And in metacognition, we've got to separate those. Okay, so back to color. Always use color in your notes. Now this brings us to the first little brainstorming session. Is color in your notes considered a good thing in kindergarten? Yes. Is it considered a good thing in senior school and university? No. Why is it considered a bad thing in senior academic years? Exactly. That's exactly the word. It is considered childish. And you don't want to be childish, do you? You want to be mature and logical and academic and colorless. So that is another one of the wrong formulas we evolved over the last 200 years. That color is childish, when in fact, color is childlike. Color is childlike, and you want to be childlike. You don't want to be childish, i.e. the negative aspects of child. You want to be childlike, the positive. So your exercise now, on a separate piece of paper or page somewhere, is to do a little brainstorm on your own, not with other people. This is entirely you, thinking about the advantages that using color gives you when you are making notes. So you imagine yourself, for the rest of your life, never able to use color again, or yourself able to use color in your notes. What could you do with color in your notes to help those notes be better? In other words, as a thinking tool, what does color offer you? What can you do with color? What does it help you to do? And do this fast as a brainstorm. Don't talk to your neighbors on this. Do not talk to your neighbor. This is to get your ideas, not communal ideas, but your own personal ideas on the advantages of color. Good, you're brainstorming well. And try and get every possible advantage. So just think, what are the advantages that color gives